A personality. The drive behind CEOs. Have you ever looked at a CEO and thought, what makes them different? Why are they up before dawn, juggling decisions, driving teams, and chasing progress without pause? The answer, for many, lies in psychology. There's a personality type that tends to rise to the top. A type marked by urgency, ambition, and a relentless need to achieve. It's called type of personality. And in this episode, we're going deep. We're unpacking why type of personalities often become CEOs, how they're wired, what fuels them, and what challenges they face at the top. You'll see the science, the stories, and maybe even recognize yourself in this journey. By the end of this video, you'll have a strong grasp of the traits that define a type of personality, the psychology behind their drive, and how it can be both a gift and a challenge in leadership. The term Type A didn't come from a business school or a motivational speaker. It came from a pair of cardiologists in the 1950s, Drive. Meyer Friedman and Dr. Ray Rosenman. They noticed something odd. Patients with heart conditions often had similar personality traits. They were impatient, driven, aggressive, and under constant stress. To describe them, the doctors coined the term, Type A, they're more laid-back patients. Type B, type individuals. Move fast, talk fast, hate wasting time, set high standard, compete constantly. Even if no one else is playing over time, this simple A-B framework caught on in popular psychology. While more nuanced personality models have emerged since, the concept stuck, because it makes sense. We all know someone who fits the mold. Or maybe, that someone is you. Type A in childhood. Signs from the start. The seeds of type A behavior often sprout early. As children, type A personalities get frustrated when others move slowly, try to be first in line, first to finish, first to win, excel in school. But not just for learning's sake. They want to be the best, show leadership in group settings, take failure hard. This drive is often reinforced by the environment. Parents who reward achievement, schools that praise productivity, peers who admire leadership. By adolescence, type A teens are leading clubs, organizing events, winning awards, and burning out before others even start. It's not about being better, it's about being driven. Inside the type A mind, a psychological blueprint. What's actually happening in the brain of a type A individual? Here's what the research says. Dopamine sensitivity. Type A's tend to have a more reactive reward system. Accomplishments feel especially good to them. Amygdala activation. They're more reactive to threats or perceived failure. This fuels urgency and caution. Cognitive rigidity. Type A's like control, structure, and order. Chaos stresses them. But there's more. Type A individuals often measure worth through output. They ask, what did I do today? What did I accomplish? Was I efficient? Productivity isn't a task, it's an identity. Puzzle piece, part 4. Why they climb, the drive toward leadership. Now we ask the big question. Why do type A personalities so often become CEOs? It's not just about drive. It's about fit. The CEO role demands fast decision-making, risk tolerance, resilience, big picture thinking, relentless execution. For type A individuals, this environment is energizing. Let's look at the natural matches. CEO requirement. Type A strength, time pressure, urgency, competition, need to win, high stakes, tolerance for stress, big visions, goal orientation, constant change, mental agility. They want to be in charge. Not for power's sake, but for progress. Famous type A CEOs. Case studies in Drive. Let's bring this to life. Consider Elon Musk. Whether you love or criticize him, no one can deny his urgency, obsession with detail, and ambition. Musk is a textbook type A. Or Oprah Winfrey, disciplined, visionary, relentless in her pursuit of excellence. And Jeff Bezos, who built Amazon into an empire through extreme efficiency, high standards, and constant motion. Even Steve Jobs, brilliant, intense, uncompromising, led with a type A intensity that drove Apple's innovation. These individuals push boundaries, demand more, and never, ever stop. The dark side of type A. What it costs. Let's talk honestly about what it means to live with that type of fire burning inside of you. Because while the drive is admirable, it doesn't come without consequences. Type A individuals are constantly in a state of go. They don't rest easily. Even during moments that are meant for relaxation, like weekends or holidays, their mind is scanning for the next task, the next solution, the next hill to climb. This can lead to something many CEOs don't talk about: burnout. Burnout is more than feeling tired. It's an emotional and physical depletion that hits you like a wall. You stop caring. You feel numb. You lose the joy that once fueled you. Many type A leaders don't see burnout coming because they mistake it for laziness. So, instead of resting, they push harder. And that's when the breakdown happens. Stress-related health problems are also common. Chronic headaches, high blood pressure, insomnia, heart disease, these aren't minor issues. Studies show type A personalities are more likely to experience cardiac events due to their intense, unrelenting internal pressure. And then there are the relational costs. Type A people can unintentionally damage relationships, both at work and at home, by being overly demanding, impatient, or emotionally unavailable. They interrupt. They dismiss emotions. They want results, not excuses. Think of the executive who never makes it to their kid's soccer game, or the entrepreneur who pushes away a partner because they don't get the hustle. Sometimes, the ambition that gets you to the top isolates you once you're there. The very traits that fuel success, speed, drive, control, can also erode peace, connection, and long-term health. This doesn't mean type A people are doomed. It means they need balance. They need tools. And that brings us to something essential. The role of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, also known as EQ, is the game changer for type A leaders. You can be brilliant. You can be decisive. You can be visionary. But if you can't manage your own emotions, or connect to the emotions of others, you won't lead people. You'll only manage processes. And in today's world, people leadership is the currency of great leadership. So what is emotional intelligence? It's made up of 5 key skills: self-awareness, knowing what you're feeling and why; self-regulation, controlling impulsive reactions; motivation, staying resilient through challenges; empathy, understanding how others feel; social skills, building relationships, influencing, resolving conflict. Here's the truth. Most type individuals excel at motivation and task completion. But many fall short in empathy and emotional regulation, especially early in their careers. The good news? EQ can be developed. And when it is, something incredible happens. The hard-charging leader becomes more human. They listen. They pause. They make space for others. And as a result, their teams feel safer, more loyal, and more inspired. Let me tell you about a client of mine. Let's call her Michelle. Michelle was a textbook type A, sharp, organized, a powerhouse performer. But her team felt micromanaged and anxious. Through coaching, she began practicing mindful pauses during meetings, asking open-ended questions, and even admitting when she didn't have the answer. It changed everything. People began to trust her, not just as a boss, but as a leader. And Michelle? She started sleeping better, smiling more, feeling human again. That's the power of emotional intelligence. It's not about being soft, it's about being effective. Evolving the type of personality. Now let's talk about the journey forward. Because being type A isn't a flaw. It's a foundation. And like any foundation, it can support a skyscraper or collapse under its own pressure. Here's where transformation happens. First, self-awareness. Most type individuals operate from habit. They don't even realize they're racing, because it's all they've ever known. But when you stop and ask, why am I rushing right now? What am I trying to prove? Who am I when I'm not performing? You start to reclaim control from your own wiring. Second, redefining success. Type of people often measure their worth by output. How many emails they answered, how many goals they achieved, how quickly they finished the project. But real leadership comes when you redefine success as impact. Who did I uplift today? What legacy am I building? How did I show up for people? Not just tasks. Third, intentionally slowing down. This one is hard for type As. But rituals of rest can transform your nervous system. Morning stillness, mindful breathing between meetings, taking walks without your phone, ending the day with gratitude. Not a to-do list. These are not luxury habits. They're survival skills for sustainable success. And finally, learning to let go. Type of people love control. But leadership, true leadership, isn't about doing everything yourself. It's about building a team you trust, delegating with confidence, and accepting that perfection isn't always the goal. Here's a truth bomb. The best CEOs are not the ones who do the most. They're the ones who empower others to do their best. And that shift, from lone wolf to leader of leaders, is what makes a type of leader unstoppable. Are you a CEO in the making? If you recognize yourself in this description, you might wonder, am I cut out to be a CEO? Maybe. But leadership is not just about personality, it's about choices. Type of traits can take you far. But success comes from balance. Vision plus patience, drive plus rest, action plus reflection. You can be a type A with wisdom. You can lead without burning out. So here's what I want you to remember. Your ambition is a gift. Your urgency can build empires. Your standards can elevate everyone around you. But never forget, you are more than your productivity. You are worthy, even when you rest. You are powerful, even when you pause. You lead best when you lead with intention.